BDSM and non-standard relationships,
power exchange and polyamory,
sacred sexuality and fetishes, as well as simply fun kink.
You're listening to the Erotic Awakening Podcast Network.
To welcome you to the next installment of the Femme Domme Mystique podcast. First thing I want to discuss is the fact that I wanted to say sorry for the delay in getting back to you all. The holidays and my travels have gotten in the way of what I actually want to do in regards to my podcast and my blog, but I'm hoping that 2015 will be a good year and we will get back on track. So I wanted to say thanks for hanging in there. I appreciate your patience, and welcome back to the Femme Domme Mystique. If this is your first time joining us, I'd like to give you a little bit of background about what you're going to be encountering on this podcast. I'm actually going to change the format a little bit. It's going to be a variety of things so you guys don't get bored, and so it's easier for me to get some word out there to you. We're going to alternate between formats. You're going to get a variety of longer podcasts on specific topics, things that people suggest, articles that I've written, classes, and then you're going to get a little bit of snippets, shorter podcasts that may be 10 minutes about those things that just aggravate the dom, or I see and just shake my head. Could be anywhere from FetLife, could be from Twitter. If you find an interesting post or an interesting article that you want me to rant or rave about, please feel free to send it to me, my email, which I will give you later in the end of the podcast. And then you will also get some guests. I have some ladies lined up for 2015 that are wonderful doms, and they have agreed to come onto the podcast and share their expertise and their vision for female dominance with us. So we're going to shake things up a little bit. Not going to give you just one long hour podcast once or twice a month and leave you waiting for more. So I'm going to give you a little bit of variety so you can pop in and see what's new. But let's move on with our first topic of 2015. So I hope you like those new ideas. Please feel free to drop me a line and give me some feedback. Our first topic of 2015, we're going to start off with a bang. And you will have to kind of give me some slack today. I do have a little bit of a cold, probably because of all the traveling, and a lot of people I know are sick. But the first topic was suggested by a friend of mine, Eriko. And her topic that she wanted to discuss, or have me discuss, is the bossy bottoms and how to deal with them. And I've been saying for about a month now that we're going to be discussing pushy bottoms and bossy bottoms and pick an adjective in front of them. But those bottoms or submissives who don't understand the dynamics or are just getting into the dynamics of femdom and don't quite understand how the protocol works, I'm going to be referencing not only her email in this, but I'm also going to be referencing two articles that I have written in the past year. Actually, one article is over 10 years old, and believe it or not, it actually still holds true. The two articles that I'm going to be referencing will also be posted on the Femme Domme blog to accompany this podcast so that you can reference it and see the full articles in their lovely glory. But we're going to be discussing how to meet the dom of your dreams and the top 10 submissives not to be, which I believe that these two articles have extreme reference to the concept of a pushy bottom or a bossy bottom. Now, let me clarify, if you are just joining in on this podcast, that this is just my opinion. You may not like it. You may not agree with it, and I respect that. We all have very different opinions, and we come into this lifestyle from different walks of life and different starts, but this is my podcast, and it's a femdom podcast, therefore this is my opinion. Again, Feel free to disagree with me. Send me an email. Tell me I'm full of it. Tell me you loved it. I respect both negative and positive feedback. But keep in mind that while you may not agree with everything I have to say here, be respectful as well that it is just my opinion. Bossy bottoms, pushy bottoms. Believe it or not, I have encountered more pushy bottoms in my lifestyle encounters than my professional encounters. And I'm not sure if it's the element of exchange in a business setting that lessens that, and the mode of personal and emotional life connection that increases it in the community lifestyle setting. When I think of a pushy bottom, I'm thinking of someone who comes to me and gives me a laundry list of things they want done to them. I want you to flog me. I want you to spank me. I want you to fist me. As Eriko said, she keeps encountering men who were selfish, bossy, and flaky, who didn't want to truly submit, but basically wanted me to either be a mind reader and didn't give me any feedback at all, or were needy and bossy and basically wanted to be completely in control of the scene. Which is another thing, that's topping from the bottom. It is an aspect of the pushy bottom because they want to keep the control. They want to get their rocks off and their fetishes and not worry about the interaction with the person they are with. One of the worst things I've ever had a feeling about when I've been in a scene with someone is the feeling that I'm just an arm. That it doesn't really matter what I look like, doesn't matter who I am, doesn't matter my personality. As long as they're getting their spanking, their flogging, their CBT, they don't give a shit who's doing it. And that's great. You know what? If that's what you are and that's the bottom you want to be and you're just a play slut, you know what? Raise your hand. Stand up, raise that flag, go ahead. But if you are sincere in searching for a mistress or a dom, a owner, a sir, and you want that connection, you have to be able to step outside your box and see the other person for who they really are. And is it a good fit in regards to a power exchange? You know? You want to just get flogged? Go ahead, just get flogged. I have no use for you if you just want to get flogged. If you want to get flogged and you come to me in a lifestyle setting, I'm going to give you my business card. Simple as that. Because I am more than happy to flog you in a professional setting, because I do enjoy flogging. But if you want to serve me in a lifestyle setting, I need more than that. I need a connection. I need to like your personality. I need to be able to have a conversation with you. You know, dominant women have a very unique way of viewing the world. Even though we're strong and independent and very self-reliant, we do enjoy service and we enjoy being taken care of. And for someone to come to us and just say, well, these are my needs and this is what I want, and especially with the social media now, none of your needs match up with my skills or my desires. It's kind of like you're just, throwing spaghetti at the wall and see what's going to stick. If you are sincere in approaching a femme dom, you might want to get to know her first. And I don't necessarily mean dating, all right? Because I'm not in the position to be dating. I have a life partner and I have a stable of boys and girls that I enjoy greatly and are part of my life. I am willing to accept new personals, and I'm willing to accept play partners. But those play partners that are coming into my personal life and not my professional life have to have something that I have a connection with. If you're into something extreme, say if you're into extreme foot fetish or forced buy, or heavy strap-on. Those are things that you're not going to get with me. And if you read my profile, you'll see that. I'm very clear. And actually, I find most ladies are very clear about what they like. They will tell you, I'm into flogging, I'm into spanking. I don't like adult baby. I don't like my feet touched. Communication is very important. If you don't do your homework and you approach a lady with a laundry list of activities and you don't ask her what hers are, or have done your homework and know what hers are, or offer something in exchange, she's going to consider you a pushy bottom. Okay? Women can be very intimidating to approach, even on a vanilla level. So if you add that level of kink, and now you've added the power dynamic of the female dominant with the male submissive, we're very, very intimidating to approach, especially if we are in our full dom mode, as my partner likes to call it. If I had to pick 3 things that we all look for, regardless of kink, I would say that most women, through talking with them, view 3 very high qualities. They like honesty, they like intelligence, and the ability to make me laugh. Even if you're not in a DS setting and you're in a vanilla setting, if you want to win a woman's heart, make her laugh. And if you really want to score with a dominant woman, make me laugh. Because it's not an easy thing to do. All right? They always say, the way to a man's stomach or heart is through his stomach. Well, the way to a woman's heart is through her laugh. If you can make her laugh, those will gain points. Take the time to learn how to approach a female dom. As a female dom, there are some qualities I look for in a dedicated submissive, in addition to honesty, intelligence, and a good sense of humor. In my submissives, honesty is number 1. If you are just looking for a play partner and you are just wanting your needs filled and your rocks off, then say that. I respect that, and I will tell you to go elsewhere. And you then should respect that the lady or I has been honest with you and said, that's not what I'm looking for. I don't think we're a good fit. Good luck on your search. Okay. I'm not sure if this has any throwback to the sexism that we do have in our culture. Now, Rico did bring this up, so I wanted to touch on this factor. In a lot of ways, as a professional dom, I am in a service industry. The people that come see me are coming to see me because they know that there's discretion guaranteed, that there's usually a safe environment if you are a vetted pro-dom. And they know that they can express their fetishes and those will be what is engaged in. If someone comes to me and it is a very heavy flogging fan, I'm certainly not going to do medical on him. Okay. So they know that they come to me and they say, I want A, B, C, D. They're going to get A, B, C, D. And maybe that's a little bleed over into the lifestyle that, these men think, I want A, B, C, D, so this is what I must get. I must get A, B, C, D. It also kind of goes back into true submission versus a power exchange in a professional setting. One of the points that was mentioned to me when this topic came up was that are the pushy bottoms, the men who are the pushy bottoms, and I am focusing on the male-female dynamic here. There are female pushy bottoms. There are also female pushy tops. So, but we are focusing on the pushy bottom concept today. Is it a concept of submission that leads back to sexism, where it's really not about the power exchange, where the female is superior and the male is subjugated to the superior female, or that they are doing a equality power exchange? Is there a level of sexism in it where the dom is just another woman to serve him and get his needs met while pretending that she's in control? This is a point that was mentioned to me. I'm not sure about that. You know, when I encounter a pushy bottom, they're done within 30 seconds. You know, so I don't engage with them on a long-term basis to know if there's a level of sexism involved. So I'm interested to hear from some of my listeners. Have you encountered this? Is this something that does come into play? Do you feel that the males who are approaching you as females to just get their rocks off see you as a means to an end and another way to serve them? And it's not about true submission. It'd be something that I'd be interested in some thoughts on, because it's something that I haven't encountered. Let's go into the top 10 subby types not to be. Now again, this is just my way of saying things, and if you don't like it, that's fine. I understand that, but remember, this is my podcast. So for the 20 years, I've come up with a list of the top 10 subbies that have drove me nuts, and I've heard complaints from other ladies. And this is also males and females. Female submissives do this as well. So I'm going to give you an example of the top 10 subby types not to be. And they are all different personas of the pushy bottom. The first one would be the micromanage me. Not the mini me, but the micromanage me. And this is the one who comes to you and says, "Mistress, do whatever you want with me. I am yours." And I look at them and I say, "Okay, go paint my house." And that's a famous line from East of Eden. Corny movie, but had some good lines. They don't want any responsibility for their life at all. Life control is a favorite fetish of mine. I really enjoy it. I enjoy menu control, dietary control, exercise control. I enjoy all those things. But I want the control. I want to negotiate the control with you. I don't want to have a robot submissive who, if I don't have an instruction or an order for him, is just standing in the corner like a robot waiting for me to press a button. If you don't get a hold of me and you're out to dinner with your friends, I expect you to be intelligent enough to choose dinner for yourself just because you didn't get a response to my text or my tweet or whatever. If you have to pee and I'm not with you, I expect you to have the intelligence of an adult to go to the bathroom. I need you as a submissive to be able to function and take care of yourself, because if you can't, that means you can't take care of me. The second one is the classic pushy bottom, and we call them do-me subs. And this is where it's all about you. Your fetishes are your only focus. Hers be damned. If she likes foot worship and you don't, oh well, she's not going to get foot worship. Too bad for her. And your only goal in approaching her is to get played. Your only goal in approaching her is to get played with. As I said earlier, I hate feeling like I'm a means to an end. I hate feeling like I'm an arm. I want to be appreciated as a woman and as a dom, and not just your robotic arm to get your ass spanked. The third type is the stalker type. Now, nowadays, this has gotten very bad. especially with social media and the ease of finding people online and the ability of information online. In regards to contacting the lady, if she is interested, she will follow up with you. It is okay to follow up with her once, maybe twice, if you have not heard from her. After that, it becomes dangerous. Don't do it. Don't go to every event she's at and hover behind her and follow her around the event. Don't send her email after email, text after text, call every hour. All of this behavior will get a police report filed on you very quickly. So showing your dedication and your devotion to the mistress of your dreams by inundating her with texts and emails is just going to get you banned and freak her out. Now this one can sometimes be interesting. This is what I call the puppy dog submissive. And this is the one that you act like a schoolboy with a crush, and you moon over her, and you're drooling and staring and wagging your tail until she pets your head. Don't fawn all over a lady unless she's instructed you to, especially if you haven't even introduced yourself yet. Kind of close to stalker mentality, not quite, but don't fawn and first of all, don't touch without permission. All right, this is a big thing in the femdom community, is do not touch the lady without permission. All right. If you're interested in a lady and you see her at a party, if you stand just out of her sight and drool and moon and, look at her boobs all night, she's going to get freaked out. All right. What you might want to do is try going up to her with a firm handshake, extending your hand and saying, "Nice to meet you. How would you like to be introduced? How would you like to be addressed?" Not every lady goes by mistress. Not every lady goes by lady, goddess, sir, whichever title they desire. One of the things you want to do as a male submissive or submissive in general is find out how the person that you are interested in likes to be addressed. The fifth type of submissive you don't want to be is the you'll do until I find someone else. You're not really interested in a relationship with her, but you don't want to go see a pro dom because, they cost money. So she'll do until you meet the dom that you really are sexually attracted to, that you want to have a relationship with. You don't put 100% into the relationship. You're always waiting for something better, the next perfect dom to come along. We are not all fetish models. We are not all rubber dolls and Jean Bardot, who's a great lady and sexy as hell, but we are all real women with real curves, different shapes, different personalities. So if you're coming from an expectation of a Barbie doll or a fetish model or someone who you've seen, they're real women too, except for Barbie. They're real women too, and to put them on that pedestal does them a disservice as well. So when you get involved with a femdom, you want to get involved with a femdom that fits your personality and her personality fits yours, that you match. Invest in the relationship. If it's just a play relationship, be open about that. Be very clear about that. If she's married or in a poly situation and not, emotionally available, say, "Hey, I really want to play with you. We can have a good time, but I know you're not emotionally available. I'm okay with that." 6. Now, this one, when I first wrote the top 10, this one I called switchable. Now, with the advent of switches in our community, switchable is probably not a good name. It should probably be yo-yo or flip-flop boy. And this is the boy that drives me nuts, even in a professional setting. This is the boy who comes to me and I say, "What is your main fetish? Would you like to explore in the next hour that we're together?" And he says, "Spanking." And I go to spank him and he's like, "Oh, I don't like that." "Okay, what would you like?" "Well, I really like flogging." "Okay." I pick up a flogger and we start flogging. "Oh, I really don't like that." "Okay." And it goes on and it goes on. constantly altering your true interests, so we are so confused and no idea where we are, I give up. I'm going to get frustrated and just call the scene and not want to play with you. Okay? Limits are fluid. Interests are fluid. And they do tend to change. And they do tend to get more intense or less intense as we get older, as life changes. So this is a fluid lifestyle. BDSM is not going to stay static. But if you're constantly flipping, especially within the contents of like 10 minutes, it's going to put stress on the person you're playing with. And it's also very manipulative because it's agreeing to an activity, but I don't like that activity. So it's very passive aggressive and manipulative. It's much better if you're honest with yourself up front that you do or do not like an activity. And if you don't know if you like an activity, then give it a try and find out. Things change all the time. But to constantly change your mind on someone is manipulative. Don't do it. This is one that we see all the time and is a very close cousin to the bossy bottom, the pushy bottom. This is the blank slate. And this is the person who has no personality. Whatever their mistress wants, I will do. Dress me however you want. Tell me what TV shows to watch. Tell me what movies to watch. I have no personality. I have no outside interests. I have no hobbies. I'll like whatever food, music, or clothing you tell me to. Because it's all up to you because you are in charge. If I wanted someone who had no personality, I would find them. But I don't. I want someone who has their own well-developed personality because that's what attracted them to me in the first place. I like the person you are. You may not be perfect, but I don't want you perfect. I'm not perfect. And that's another thing. Your mistress is not perfect. I hate to tell you that. And ladies, if you pretend to be perfect, you're asking for a fall. Everybody gets sick. I have a cold right now. Everybody gets sick. Everybody has a bad hair day. Everybody doesn't want to dress in the latex. You have to allow each other to be human. It's a blank slate. Come with your own personality. Your personalities will meld and mesh within the relationship, but maintaining your own interests and your own hobbies makes you who you are, and that's what she likes. Now, this one is kind of akin to the puppy dog. I have to give a caveat with this one because this does not apply to protocol-based movements. And when I say that, I mean that when my boys are with me in a event setting, they are always to be on the left. Because then I can turn to them, I can give them a glass, I can give them a cane, I can give them whatever I need to, I know where they are, I can turn in and give them an order and tell them to go get me something. So if I go to the left, they move to the left. However, that is a training thing, that is a protocol thing, and they're meant to do that. However, if you're not in that type of relationship, and even if you're not in a relationship at all, and she goes into the front room and you follow, or she goes into the dungeon and you follow, she moves 4 steps to the left and you move 4 steps to the left, this is going to freak her out. So don't do it. Right? Male submissives are not meant to be doormats unless I want a doormat. In fact, submissives at all are not meant to be doormats unless I want a submissive. To be a doormat. If I want you to be my doormat, I'm going to say get on the floor, be my doormat. Have a little bit of a backbone. Now, this does not mean be belligerent. Doesn't mean mouth off. What it means is have a backbone. If you feel that something she is asking you to do is unsafe or inappropriate, respectfully clarify it with her. If I say the sky is green, don't go, yes, ma'am, it's green. Look at me and go, ma'am, are you feeling okay today because the sky is blue? Okay? Don't just go with my opinion, because my opinion could be dangerous. And my opinion could be just said because I want to see if you'll agree with it. I want my submissives to have a strong personality and a backbone. The last one I call the weeping willow. And this is the kind of person, and this is just not for me, it could be for someone else, it's just not for me, is the weeping willow. The emotion, heart on my sleeve. I love you, I love you, oh, I love you so much, ma'am. Needing of reassurance that they're worth it. Oh, I'm not worthy of you. Why would I have someone that's not worthy of me? If I've chose you, you're worthy of me. Therefore, stop degrading my property, because it's going to get me mad. Psychic vampires do not make good subs. Do not be constant clingy. Do not constantly need reassurance. Do not self-efface yourself. Because all it's going to do is make me tired and make you tired from all the constant reassurance I have to give you to bolster your self-esteem. You are a person who is worth my attention, otherwise you wouldn't have it. That right there in a nutshell should show you the way to a female dom's heart. Be yourself. Be the man that she's attracted to. If she wants an alpha sub, give her an alpha sub. But don't change who you are just to be with who you think the dom of your dreams is. Because all it's going to do is end up badly for you. Now, ladies, let's go into a little bit about what to do with these pushy bottoms. It's a very hard situation. You don't want to turn the boy off, especially if it's his first event or his first, foyer into the lifestyle. But you also don't want to be walked over on a doormat. You don't want to put your needs aside for their interests. When I encounter a pushy bottom, the first thing that I do is ask them to fill out my slave application. I don't care if you're seeing me professionally. I don't care if you're seeing me personally. I have a slave application. And it's an A to Z list of interests. And I tell them, if you don't know, leave it as an unsure, because we'll go over it. Now, you would think that this would be kind of counterproductive to the pushy bottoms if you're giving them a list of what they want, to fill out with what they want. But what it enables you to do is to find out if you're matched with this person. And it actually enables them to think about what they want. So then I'll take that list of fetishism with them and I'll sit down. And this is a lifestyle setting, not a professional setting. I'll sit down with them and I'll say, okay, what are you looking for? What kind of relationship do you want? And before we even encounter any type of play, that's what we go over. Do we mesh well? We may have a dinner, we may have a coffee, whatever. But we have a conversation as an adult couple beforehand. Because if I can't have a conversation with you, I'm not putting my hands on you. And I will tell the boys that. All right? And if the person that I'm with and we're talking with doesn't get the fact that this is an exchange, then I cut it short. It's as simple as that. And this is a decision you have to make. What point do you cut this loose? How long do you want this to go on? If the person is not willing to meet you halfway and give you some autonomy and power, then you have to consider the fact that it's probably not for you. How much of your power do you want to give up? How much of your control do you want to give up to please this person's desires? Now, not every BDSM relationship is going to be 50-50. Not every vanilla relationship is 50-50. And even those that are, consistent, they don't say 50-50. Sometimes it's 70-30, sometimes it's 80-20, sometimes it's, 40-40, 40-60. The power exchange shifts. It's a fluid thing. That's what it's supposed to do. But if my power and my desires are constantly on the low end of that scale, do I want to be in the relationship with the person? If I'm going to invest time in you as a submissive and training you, because it takes time to train you my way, I want to know that you are going to be focused on me. Your attention will be on our connection. And this is a question you might want to ask those submissives that you begin to play with. What are you looking for? Are you looking for just a play partner? Are you looking for a Femme Domme relationship? Are you looking for 24/7? What dynamic are they looking for? Because it's so fluid here. I don't want to be anyone's flavor of the week. I'm not a notch in your belt. I'm not a notch in your belt to say that you played with me. If this is the case, engage me as a professional. Simple as that. We are women first, dominant second. So if you behave accordingly to proper etiquette when socially meeting a new woman, put that into play in fetish situations. Don't stare at her tits. Don't drool on her. Don't force her to pay attention to you, as it will only succeed in pissing her off and making you out to be an ass. Now, ladies, on the same end, even if you're not interested in the gentleman, be polite. Say thank you very much. I'm not looking at this time. My plate is full. Whatever polite refrain you can think of if you're not interested in pursuing a relationship with them. Ladies, we can be hard to approach. We don't need to be bitchy to make it any harder for these boys to approach us. So getting to know a dominant woman is not going to be an easy task for you guys. Sometimes we do make it difficult to see how sincere you are. If a lady starts making you jump through her hoops, you need to decide how much you want to jump through these hoops. Are these hoops that you want to jump through? Ladies, don't make the hoops so insane that the boy can't accomplish it. When a lady asks you what you have to offer, think about that. Because this is where the myth of the pushy bottom comes from. If a lady asks you what you have to offer, it usually means that you've offered nothing. Therefore, there might be a problem with your approach. So if you're encountered with this question, think about it. And don't say, well, the pleasure of my submission. Because all you're going to do then is piss her off, because she's going to look at you and go, well, what about the pleasure of my dominance? This is a power exchange. It has to flow both ways. If she's a heavy flogging lady and you want to be flogged and that gets both of you off, go for it. But if you have a list of activities that you want done to you and you're not willing to give her some kind of service back, you're probably going to get shot down more times than not. Put into practice the manners for treating a lady well, and you will be on your way to finding a mistress. If you send me a picture of your dick, it's all going to get you deleted. Listing all the fetishes you have, that's great. Wait till I give you my application for you to fill out, and then we'll have a discussion about our mutual fetishes. Don't expect, clean the bathroom and then 6 hours of play in return for cleaning the bathroom. Real life 24/7 is completely different. More often than not, you're going to clean the bathroom and maybe get a light spanking before you go to bed. Okay? True service is a dedication to the one who dominates you, and it can be challenging to do so. With all power exchange, you both need to find an equal playing field so that each needs are getting met. And that's the key to our lifestyle. The power exchange of each person getting their needs out of whatever activities we engage in. And pushy bottoms don't fit that. So if you're a pushy bottom, I'm going to conclude with saying, think outside your box, consider the other person's desires, and yours will come. And for the ladies who encounter the pushy bottoms, I know this is a very long topic, and one we could probably talk about over and over again, and probably will revisit again. Be clear about what you're looking for. Don't confuse the boy. If he comes to you with a laundry list, say thank you very much. What can you do for me? What kind of service are you offering? And if he says, well, the pleasure of this, explain to him what he's doing wrong. Best thing you can do is communicate with each other. I hope this podcast has helped a little bit clarify pushy bottoms and the type of submissives that are big turnoffs and how femdoms look at the world. I would love to hear some feedback from you guys. My email is chicagomistress, all one word, @gmail.com. My website is www.chicago-mistress.com. Look for a short blurb rant podcast within the week, but I'm glad you all decided to join me again, and I'm sorry for the delay. Thank you very much, and I look forward to a great 2015.